You are listening to the B.I.G show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
Yeah. It's the big show.
Big up.
And we're back again. I'm Calvin. That's my guy, Garland. And we actually even a little early today. I mean, it don't matter to you all, but for us, we're a little early today in the evening. I was able to get out and get ready. Garland always be trying to start early. That used to be the problem in the mornings on Saturdays. Garland be wanting to start out early, and I used to tell
him, no.
We are live on YouTube right now.
Hey, bro, I gotta record early. What about 8:30? I'm like, on a Saturday. Yeah,
we are live. As
bro.
I was saying, we are live on YouTube now. We're on all the podcast platforms.
Don't go back.
And if you have Spotify, when you see us, you can watch Garland tell all these lies over here. What else you got going on, Garland?
Yeah, man. Just chilling, man. You know, working, doing the best that I can, and all the things that I can do. I need that cortisone shot in the knee. My knee's been giving me some pain. That the author it showed up in my knee and what have you. I had meniscus surgery years ago, and they said, this is just, it's the progression. It's going to get a little arthritis up in it. And so, at the ripe age of 58, sometimes you just, I'm just going to lay down, take a rest. I get up and it'll feel better tomorrow. That was like a week ago. So,
hey, welcome to the club. Thanks for joining us, because I've had meniscus surgeries on both my knees and I got arthritis. As a matter of fact, when I get up with my knees, you hear people start yelling, "Get the fuck down! There's an active shooter!" Because my shit be popping when I stand up.
It says an active shooter.
My knees be popping like a motherfucker when I get up.
Pop.
Like, get down. They be ducking under the desk, getting in a little position.
Brother says an active shooter. That's a shame.
That's how bad my knees be sounding, man.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, it was an accident this morning. I wasn't driving. I actually caught the commuter bus today to work, and it was an accident in the tunnel. Traffic was outrageous this morning, but made it back home safely, and I'm here with you. What about yourself?
Good thing they serve champagne and caviar in your ride from Hartford Hills in the commuter bus. It's probably a commuter Tesla bus.
This is not the Eddie Murphy skit. This is not the Eddie Murphy skit when he was the white guy, and when the last black guy got off the bus, they turned on music. And gosh, no,
you right. It ain't the Eddie Murphy skit, because they don't even let other blacks on your bus. You got to be a high sedity black from Hartford Hills to get on your bus. No. Drinking mimosas on the way to work, and probably got the little wind down glass of brandy on your way home.
A little brandy sniffer.
Little brandy, a little sherry if you want to. You know what I mean?
You would know, Sommelier. You would know. What else would you recommend on that ride home, Sommelier? Y'all ain't gonna talk about your boy Club Level. He was at Club Level looking at his sweets. I ain't even gonna say I ain't gonna talk about the man. You know him and the beautiful missus. They in the club suites, feet all up and whatnot.
We was in the legacy trophy. We was in the legacy joint, yo. That's the joint that's down on the field. Like, we looked up at our seats. I was like, P.U.
Right.
Those seats stink.
I don't like my seats anymore.
But I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk. I got something for you, Ravens. I got something for the Ravens today. I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah, they setting Calvin and Katina up like a timeshare. Like when me and my wife go to our timeshare.
That's damn sure what they try to do.
They always say, "Hey, we'll give you $100 if you come to the upgrade meeting or the renewal meeting." Like, okay, we've already paid ours off. We don't want no new payment. but my wife liked to get the little money, so she convinces me to go. So they take us to the new suites, and oh my God, these things is banging. They better than the ones we stand in, the owner ones, and this is new and this is new. And yeah, that's what they doing to Katina and Cal.
That's what
They
they
setting
trying
them
to
up.
do.
So they're gonna say like, now look, if you upgrade to this, you're only gonna have to pay an additional $5,000 a month on top of the
They,
5,000 that you're already paying.
they trying. I'm trying to tell you, they are
Timeshare at
trying.
the stadium. Man, let's go ahead and get into this, man. You know what, man? I ain't gonna run down. We're just gonna jump right into this gambling, man. That's the thing that's been dominating the sports landscape all day. And so, as reported by ESPN and other outlets, Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier has been arrested as part of a pair of wide-ranging investigations related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia. I wish we could play the mafia theme to Godfather while I'm reading this, but we don't have the rights. Billups and Rozier were among a total of 34 people arrested. The arrests were a result of a years-long investigation covering 11 states and involving tens of millions of dollars. Now, Rozier, who was arrested Thursday morning at a hotel in Orlando, Florida, is accused of participating in an illegal sports betting scheme using private insider NBA information. Before March the 23rd, 2023, in a game against the New Orleans Pelicans, Rozier, who then played for the Charlotte Hornets, allegedly told a childhood friend that he would remove himself from a game in the first quarter due to a supposed injury. According to the indictment, his friend allegedly sold the information to two bettors for about $100,000. Now, Billups, who was arrested in Oregon, is charged in a separate indictment alleging a wide-ranging scheme to rig underground poker games that were backed by mafia families, authorities said. The defendants are accused of using technology to steal millions from victims in the New York area. Billups, who was known as a face card in the scheme, helped to organize and played in games held in Las Vegas using a rigged shuffling machine in April 2019, where they defrauded victims of at least $50,000. Also, former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones. I think Damon Jones was married to your girl Thompson, that played Trina Thompson, that played for the Houston Comets. Yeah,
Well,
check on that.
that's why he ain't married to her no more, because
Right.
he's a scum of the earth.
He was arrested on Thursday as well as for charges that he provided inside information about NBA games to co-defendants who used it to play sports bets. In the indictment, it was stated that he disclosed privileged injury information about a prominent basketball player to facilitate illegal sports betting. Authorities announced. Now, LeBron James was the prominent player. A source close to James told ESPN. James was not accused of any wrongdoing in the indictment. Now, we know that Adam Silver, this happened all on Tuesday, the opening night of the NBA. It's how convenient all of this comes out on this after the second night of NBA opening. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, appearing on the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday, said the league has been working with its sportsbook partners to combat attempts at manipulation. Now, it's a lot of stuff out here, Calvin. Earlier, when I was planning for our discussion this evening, I saw a clip on X, Twitter, where a guy was talking about these rigged poker games with Billups. He was saying that this was going back to 2019. So this is right in alignment with what this guy was saying. He's a professional poker player. He said, yeah, they were setting up these games to come play with Chauncey Billups, and all the professional guys knew that the games were rigged. But what can you do? He said, some people went, they were losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it wasn't, they got pretty much taken by this scheme. So it was known as early as 2019 that Billups was participating in these illegal poker games. And as far as Rozier, Rozier was allegedly cleared by the NBA at the end of last season of any wrongdoing in terms of bets, but the feds didn't seem to think so. And Damon Jones, this is real interesting. And I think that, I want to be a conspiracy theorist and say, it's funny that LeBron has sciatica and he's sitting out. I bet you he praying that his name don't get thrown in this. But I saw a clip with Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas was arrested earlier this year for on charges of having illegal gambling in his home. He was arranging poker games in his home, and everybody saying that Gilbert snitched and what have you, that Gilbert told. But Gilbert Arenas said in a clip he was being interviewed by Shannon Sharp, Uncle Shay Shay. He was saying, yeah, he said, Gilbert, what did LeBron say to you when y'all were playing the Cavaliers and you missed that foul shot and he came up and said something to you at the foul line? Gilbert said, yeah, he was saying to me, if I missed the second shot, who's going to hit the winning shot? He was talking about Damon Jones. He said, because we played poker at LeBron's house all the time. And so when I used to go over there, because Damon Jones was terrible at cards, I would go over there and I walk in talking about I was the landlord here to collect my rent. And so, yeah, we used to all play poker at LeBron's house. So he didn't, they're going to find it on the internet. Boy, if you said it, it's on the internet. And so you and I, we've talked about the impact of online gambling on the current sports landscape ever since it's become legal several years ago, and the potential for fixing games in individual performance. And so, do you think this incident will be enough to bring more stringent legislation and oversight into sports?
As long as the money flowing, everybody just going to keep on going. They're going to talk big game, but
Man.
some people might get suspended. But let me say this. Let me say this. So I'm going into this story thinking there's going to be a whole lot of DraftKings point shaving, and when I open mine and see it, the first thing I see is, "Hey Chauncey, let me come and talk to you for a minute. Listen here, Muyan. You rub my back, I rub your back. All right, why don't you bring some of your, the big wigs down here, you guys that are making a lot of money, and we'll let you off the hook." I mean, like Chauncey, he getting pinched by the mob. Now, it sounds crazy, but clearly it's happening. Now, it's funny that those gambling games go back to 2019, because what was going on around 2019, well, really going into
COVID.
2020, COVID. So it may have been money he needed. It may have started off as something to make some extra money, but you never know. You never know people's finances, their state of affairs, what's going on. It's just so tough out here because, as we always say, as Black people, we cannot do what they can do.
Right.
We're always going to get caught. You just got to keep your nose clean. Now, you hope they make it out of it scot free. You hope this is all false and just allegations, but we've seen over these past few years with this gambling that these allegations have become true. These guys are guilty. I don't think any less of Chauncey Billups for doing it, but I do think, if you're setting up card games with people that you're betraying people's trust. If you are shaving points in the NBA, you're a lot of people that look up to you, you're disappointing. So, I hope you make it out on the other side, but hey, man, y'all got to stop, because eventually the hammer is going to start coming down much harder than it is now, because Adam Silver is going to get tired of being embarrassed. And this stuff is embarrassing. You got guys like Wemby out there now that you need to be concentrating on.
Right.
But we
Nobody's
like
talking
you
about
said,
his performance from last night. Nobody's talking
exactly,
about the other rookie. I think
exactly,
he was the third pick of this draft. He had 35 against this Celtics. Nobody's talking about this right now.
exactly,
Yeah. You know what? I would say I don't think it's going to be any legislation or oversight because there's too much money in it already.
exactly. I
These
agree
guys
with
are
that.
already in bed together. These leagues have been flooded with money. These owners want this money because they see it as nice, quick, free money. We're starting to see the opening of sports books at stadiums. I know the Orioles tried to do it at Camden Yards. I don't know if they created a space at M&T, but I know that the Wizards, the ownership did it there at their arena down in DC. And so a lot of these guys, they're already taking the money, and to try to separate themselves from the money is a little bit too late. Do you think Adam Silver keeps his job? I mean, because he basically cleared Terry Rozier of any wrongdoing, and you got this thing dropping down like people starting to look at the league, and because this is a majority black league, of course, they saying they did it. In the words of 50, they did that shit.
Well, just just like Roger Goodell.
Mhm.
You know, their obligation is to the owners, and I seriously doubt if the owners want to remove him because he keeps their secrets, you know. I
Sure,
mean,
sure.
he's actually standing up right now. What's his name? The Clippers owner, is in big trouble with the whole
Right, right.
Kawhi thing. So
Hmm.
he's standing up for him. You know what I mean?
Palmer.
So
Hmm.
it's like uh, it's really hard to say. Plus, I don't see, so you cleared him and it comes back that he's not clear. I don't see that as being such a huge problem. But I will say that he's going to have to start dropping the hammer, like I said earlier, because he's going to not want to continue to be embarrassed. Like, this is embarrassing for the league, and he's the one that has to answer for it eventually. But I don't think right now there should be any talk of removing him because he's done a lot for the league. But you never know, man. You never know. All it takes is one or two owners that are like, yeah, I ain't got nothing to lose if he go. I ain't want him in anyway.
Right.
So you just never
Yeah.
know.
Billups is done coaching. Would you
Oh,
agree with that?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. His
Yeah.
NBA association is most likely done.
Wow. Wow. Do you trust that games have not been fixed already?
No, absolutely not. I don't trust in any sports that games have not been fixed.
Wow.
There's always going to be the element of reality. So when people say games are scripted, I don't necessarily believe that games are scripted, but I do not trust that there are players that have shaved hair or maybe in the NFL dropped the ball that they should have caught or didn't get an extra yard that they maybe should have gotten. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Right.
trust any of that. Same thing with the NBA, a turnover that they possibly didn't have to make. Shooting a jump shot that may have been 70-30 in the beginning, but they knew that they were going to 100% miss it. A free throw that may have been off. I don't put anything past any of these athletes
Mhm.
now.
That's the next big story that's going to be coming out, Calvin. Give it probably another year or so. And this investigation is also looking into college basketball. And so they've looked at several schools. Um, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get a expose that someone fixed the game. And then,
Absolutely.
I think it's really going to be open season then. Do you think Trump and his administration really strategically held this information for the start of the league? Because
Well,
Trump, he's not a fan of LeBron. These guys were protesting. Stephen A. said the WNBA is going to be next and what have you. Um, he basically was mad at the NFL players for kneeling years ago. What do you think about this correlation that some have put out there that this is all the doing of Trump?
I think if he's not involved, he's going to find a way to be involved. But I'm not one of them people that's going to pin everything on Trump, all the ills of the world. I'm not
Right,
going to pin it
Trump
on
did
him.
it.
Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him. Not that I don't want to now.
Right.
Let's make no mistake. I'm not giving him any grace, but I do like to hold people accountable that should be
Hmm.
accountable. And right now, Trump shouldn't be held accountable for what's going on inside the NBA.
Trump did it. It's Trump fault. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, it's unfortunate after a great opening night. You had the TNT Inside NBA show transition to ESPN. It was great. And you had these great performances, a double overtime game to open up the season with the league champions and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is not what you would want to have in your second day. And so hopefully as we get more information, we see what'll happen in terms of people faith. Because yeah, everybody you've always heard fans talking about the game has been fixed. The referees are making
Yeah,
extra calls or this
yeah.
person did. And I think as players, you better be careful who you talking to. You can't tell your boy, hey, main man not playing tonight, man. Because if your boy
Exactly.
go put $20,000 on the game, and all of a sudden that puts up some red flags to the authorities. Well, my man told me so and so wasn't playing, and
Yeah.
yeah, you better watch how you sharing information because it could come back to bite you. And so we'll see what happens with the indictment. All right, man. Let's get to the real talk. Ravens time. The Raven season starts Sunday, Calvin. You did not know that. It did not start against the Buffalo Bills. That was a fake start. The real Raven season starts on Sunday. And so the Ravens, they had their work cut out for them, as they say, starting this Sunday as they play the Chicago Bears at home. The Ravens come out the bye week with a 1-5 record, looking to make the playoffs for the fourth consecutive year. They face a hot Bears team that has won four straight with quality wins over the Cowboys and Commanders. In the playoff era, only four teams have made the playoffs after starting the season 1-5 or worse. Give me at least two.
The New England Patriots.
Incorrect.
Oh, they were 1-3. They were one and
Okay.
three. 1-5.
You get a couple. I give you two more guesses. Give me two.
Let's see. Starting 1-5 and made the playoffs.
Yes.
Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's incorrect. You get one more try.
God damn it. Let me think of another team that went on a certain. How about the what about the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals that one year? Damn it. I said that one year. Whatever that Joe Burrow year was. I don't know.
You wrong. I don't even know. Were you born in 1970?
No, I'm a 72 baby.
Okay, you weren't even here. And so,
but was the Cincinnati Bengals right?
Yeah, but it wasn't the year you were talking.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. You added the year on later.
All right, I just know because I got the answer in front of me. The Bengals in 1970, they started 1-6. The Chiefs in 2015. The Colts in 2018.
I was about to say Kansas City.
Okay. The Colts in 2018, and the Washington football team, then as they were known, in 2020.
So it's been three recently.
Within a several year, what's that, 10-year time frame from 2015 through 2025. Now, according to a report from the Baltimore Sun, the team has not been able to get over the devastating loss to the Bills in the season opener. If you've read that, the Baltimore Sun did a expose article on the Ravens during the bye week, and where they were looking at several different things that were going on in the team. They had took the games out of the locker room, and there was some rumor that the coaches had done it, but it turns out that the veteran players suggested removing all the little trinkets out of the locker room and everything. But for the most part, they really trace the loss of confidence back to the first game of the season with the Bills, having that lead and then losing in the fashion that they lost in is kind of really shaking the confidence of the team, and they haven't been able to get it back. And so I know we talked a little bit about it last week, but how many of the remaining games do you think they need to win to get to the playoffs?
So I personally think they need to sweep the AFC North. So we're talking 5 games right there at least. I think they need to sweep the AFC North. You can't lose to the Dolphins. You can't lose to the Jets. So that's 7 games that we're looking at right there. So that puts them at 8-5. Who else you have? You have the Patriots on there. I think a lot of people think the Patriots are going to be a cakewalk because it's at home, but the Patriots are actually a good team. They got
the Packers.
They got the Packers and the Vikings. Yeah. So I'm going to say they're going to beat the Bears. I'm going to say they're going to.
Do they play Seattle this year?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say they're going to beat the Bears. They're going to split with the Vikings and the Packers, most likely. In my thinking, losing to the Packers. Although the Packers, well, yeah, they'll probably be battling. So that puts them, if they do the 5 that I think they'll go somewhere around 8. Somewhere around 10-7. Somewhere around 10-7. Yeah, somewhere around 10-7.
Yeah, I said at the beginning during our football preview show that you're going to have to win 10 games to at least get in the playoffs. With so much of the parity down towards the bottom maybe you could sneak in there with 9.
They got to win the division.
Yeah, but they got to win the division to get in with
Yeah,
9.
they got to win the
And
division.
so at this point, I really got to see what happens on Sunday. I mean, it's a must win on Sunday.
Sunday's a must-win game. Yeah,
Sunday's a must
absolutely.
win game.
They lose Sunday, then remember we talked about 55-60% playoffs. They lose
Right.
Sunday, that's dropping down for me to about 20-30%.
Yeah. So I would say 10 games too. I'm gonna stay with 10 games. I think they're gonna have to win at least 10 games to get to the
So that
playoffs.
means nine of their
So
final games.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So let's go ahead go through the list again. Bears, Dolphins, Vikings,
Yes.
Browns.
Yes, yes,
All right,
yes,
so let's go
yes.
back up. Bears,
Yes.
Dolphins,
Yes.
Vikings,
Yes.
and in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, yes.
Okay, Browns in Cleveland.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Jets. Yes.
Yes.
Bengals.
Yes.
All right.
That's 6 in a row.
Yeah, 6 in a row. Steelers.
That's a home game.
That's a home game.
I'm saying yes because it's a home game.
All right. Then on the road in Cincinnati.
That's going to be a tough one. I think they have to win it.
3 of the last 4 on the road.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I think they have to win it. So I'm gonna say yes to that. So I got them peeling off what 8 in a row right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then what's after that?
You got Patriots at home, and then you end 2 games on the road, Packers and Steelers, and those would be determined games, and so they could be either night games or day games.
I'm gonna have them dropping the home game to the Patriots. I'm gonna have them dropping the road game to the Packers. I think that game against the Steelers could possibly be the AFC Championship game for them. Not necessarily for the Steelers, but for the Ravens. It could be that the AFC North, you got to win this game to get in. Well, it would have to be against the Steelers because I don't think the Bengals or the Browns could do it. Browns would be out of it by then.
So you got them winning 8 of the remaining 10 games.
I thought I had them winning 9.
Oh, 9 of the remaining 10. Because you had them losing
right.
to the
I got them.
Patriots
Yeah. I got them winning 8. Okay. I got them winning 8 and winning the division
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit of offense. Everybody in Baltimore is breathing a sigh of relief because Lamar Jackson returned to practice Wednesday. If Lamar did not come back to practice, I don't know what's going to happen to the city. I don't know what was. I'll tell you what. Ain't nobody going to be at the game Sunday if Lamar did not come back to practice this week. But I mean, if they had a informal practice on Monday, they said it was an official practice, and so Lamar was not participating in that, and people start losing their mind. Like, oh Lord, he's not going to be back. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. And then Wednesday came. I for one was checking Twitter for a couple times, refreshing, making sure. And sure enough, Adam Schefter, Lamar Jackson is at practice. It was like, whew. Now he was just limited. I don't care. Let him go ahead, be limited for the rest of the week, and be ready on Sunday. I'm not expecting him to come out there and be running all over the field and all those great things. But also, fullback Patrick Ricard was a full participant in practice. I think that's very key. I got kind of shoo-shooed in our text group because I said Patrick Ricard ain't been there. People are like, well, Patrick Ricard.
And what text group? Not our text group.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention names. Go back and way back in the beginning of the season because I was saying he helps with the blocking on the line.
Yeah.
That blitz pickup and everything like that. He's like a third tight end often in those sets where you can put Andrews and Likely into patterns and let Ricard pick up your blitzers. And so they really need him back. And I think he's a great blocker for Henry. I think we'll see more Henry explosion like we were seeing last year with Ricard there. And left tackle.
And it's sneaky offensive threat.
Offensive threat. Yeah. And left tackle Ronnie Stanley also was a full participant in practice. We need him. And so the Ravens, they averaged 30 points per game with Lamar and less than 15 without him. So what else needs to happen for the team to get back to their winning ways offensively?
Offensively, we need to get Rashad Bateman on track, and I think that helps with Lamar. As bad as Zay did in that other game, Zay has actually been playing well. Mark Andrews has also been playing well. He hasn't been the Mark Andrews that we've known, but the past couple games he's caught some balls, which he didn't get, but they need to get that confidence back. I really think they need to start using DeAndre Hopkins a lot more. The guy
Mhm.
can catch anything. And I mean, just do what you do. We talked about the Rams game. The game plan was run it down their throats, and it was working. You know,
Right.
neutralize the penalties, protect Lamar. The good thing about this Chicago game is that Chicago doesn't really have a huge blitz package.
Sure.
They don't rush the quarterback as well, especially with the front four. We need a Lamar that can pick them apart, and we know he can do it. So he may not have to run as much. But I'm with everyone healthy. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to them getting back on track. And you hate to think any team is a cakewalk, but you beat Chicago and then you now have to go to Miami. You're almost looking and hoping that it's two in a row because Miami is just a dumpster fire. But you
Sure.
don't want to look ahead. But I
Right.
just like the fact that everyone's healthy and you're playing a Chicago team that, although offensively they've been doing well, they're still not a juggernaut of a team.
Yeah, I think the thing that, and we'll get to defense in a minute. I just think offensively, we've got to get the tough yards when we need them. That's been a thorn in their flesh all season. When they needed 3 or 4 yards, 2 or 3 yards, they have not been able to get those conversions. They need to get those conversions. They got to protect up the middle. The guard play has been less than stellar. And I think because Lindenbaum has had to kind of leak over to cover for some of that deficiency, he's also been in some trouble as well. And so the guard play has to improve. Of course, we have to protect Lamar. And we just have to get back to that swag that they had. I mean, Calvin, they
Yeah.
came out and put up 40 points in that first game like it was nothing.
Open open that shit up back up,
Right.
Todd. Open that
Open it
shit
up.
back up. What the
Open it
fuck?
up. You were throwing the ball. You were running the ball. You were doing
Yeah.
whatever you wanted to do.
Keep them on their heels. Do that
Yeah.
shit that you was doing last regular season. I
Yeah.
mean, damn.
I want to say I would love to see some 15 play drives, some 12 play like they were doing last year. I mean, they would get the ball, and by the time they gave it back, it would be the end of the quarter. And I mean, they were
Absolutely.
putting in these long drives and picking up first downs when they needed them. They did what they wasn't, they could run it and they could throw it. And so hopefully we'll see the return of that with Lamar.
And
And
hold on to the ball, Derrick Henry.
hold on. He took off the sleeves, and so ever since he's taken off the sleeves, he has not fumbled. And so hopefully he'll continue to hold on. And it's going to be a nice little cool day on Sunday. I know you're going to be inside of your
I
suite.
won't be there. I won't be there
Oh, that's
Sunday.
right. That's right. You said that.
Yeah, I actually have a family engagement there.
Uh,
Why the fuck? Unc, you knew it was Sunday. You're a Ravens fan. Why
yeah,
would you
I don't
skip?
know what
You
people
know
be
what?
doing. I
Let
got
me
an
let me
engagement
chill.
too on
Let
Sunday.
me
I'm
chill.
like, people playing games with these Sundays.
Yeah, what are
You
y'all
know what's
doing?
going on.
You know it's football season.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk a little defense. The Bears offense has performed very well under new head coach Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams, he's passed for over 1,300 yards. He has 9 touchdowns, about 3 interceptions. But their run game in particular has been very effective. With DeAndre Swift leading the team with 419 yards rushing and 3 TDs. We've been kind of weak in stopping the run, which has opened us up on the pass. And so, what do we have to do to shut down the Bears in this game? I know we got to shut down the run. I'm sure you're going to say that.
Yeah.
But what else do we need to do in this game
Well, first of all, we get Roquan back, so
defensively?
that
Mm-hmm.
we get Roquan back, so that's a help. And if we think about it, the last game against the Rams, Kyron Williams did not go off. I mean, he didn't go off. The reason that the Rams were able to score was because the offense kept turning the ball over and they were getting short fields. The defense actually played pretty well. That's what we need. We just need them to play pretty well. You don't have to be what you ended up last season, but you got to play pretty well. That game against Detroit, that game against the Texans, I don't know what the hell they was out there doing. Now, of course, they had
Mhm.
a lot of injuries. You need a pass rush. I don't know if you're working with Mike Green, but something has to give.
Right.
You got to put the quarterback in a position where he's got to make a quick decision, where he's running the ball. You got to do something because I heard this about the Rams game, and it was so true just watching it. Dude, I forgot that Matt Stafford made a lot of mistakes that helped the Ravens, but they were like a lot of the reasons he made mistakes is because he wasn't getting pressured. He was back there so long clean that he was like, wait a minute, don't I have to get rid of this? Like he
Right.
was getting nervous.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
can't have that. You
They
can't
got
have
they got to let it go again on defense. Come on, let's get some more blitz package. We got to play for broke. We got to play for broke. And I'm not saying turn into Wink Martindale and start blitzing everybody, but we got to get these blitzes to get
you
home. We
gotta
got
get
to
him in.
we got to
Yeah.
scheme it up, and I think this is a super winnable game. But we're just gonna have to have stellar performances on both sides of the ball and special teams. So that means with the new kicker, let's not have any penalties on the kickoffs. Let's get that down in there. And so we got a lot of work to do. But what's your final score prediction for Sunday?
Wow, that's a good question. We
Mm-hmm.
got Lamar back. We
Mm-hmm.
we got the full complement of players. Let me get my Ravens in a comfortable win. Let me get my Ravens 31-17. Comfortable win.
Okay, Ravens. And I am going to say, uh, I'll say, mm, let's say 30 to 20, 30 to 21 Ravens.
Okay, okay. You giving it like almost a one score game, barely
Almost a run score game,
barely over one score.
barely over one score. So we'll see what happens. Now let's get to this pigskin pick'em, y'all, because I'm gonna save my comments about my co-host
That's
when
some
I get
bullshit.
to come on, yo. But
It's some bullshit, y'all. It's some bullshit.
man, let me talk about this guy. So my co-host, he did well last week, y'all. This is the first time in a couple weeks that he's had over one win. He went, let's see, how many weeks? 3 weeks in a row? No, actually, week 4 he had 3 wins. And then the last 2 weeks he's only had one, which gave me a nice lead of at least 4 game lead. And so going into week 7, I had a 4 game lead. And coming out of the week, Calvin's game 1 game. And so have a 3 game lead now. I was okay. I won 3 of my picks. The Bengals over the Steelers, the Thursday night game, and the London game, the Rams over the Jaguars were games that I picked correctly. And I picked the Colts over the Chargers. The Colts look like they're the real deal right now in the AFC, which was a good pick. I lost out on the Commanders and Cowboys. I thought that was going to hit for me. It did not. Falcons, Niners. It was a little close, but Falcons did not do as well as I thought they would do on Sunday night. And I think Dolphins. I thought that the Dolphins would beat the Browns, but the Dolphins just decided they didn't want to play anymore.
Oh, hold on. Did you say my Eagles? You picked Minnesota.
Oh, and I'm sorry, sir. And I picked the Vikings
You
over
see,
the Eagles, which
you
was a
see what I'm
close
saying,
game.
y'all? You see what I'm
It's
saying,
nothing to
y'all?
say.
It's
It's
that
nothing
bull.
to say because I
It's
got the
that.
score right.
It's
I
that
got the score
bullshit.
right. No. I got the score right. And we're gonna talk about the real BS when we get to come on, yo. And so Calvin, his 4 games, he did correctly call the Browns over the Dolphins, Eagles over the Vikings. He picked the Cowboys over the Commanders and the Niners over the Falcons. And so he had a good week last week. Congratulations to him. But hey, Team Light Skin, Team Clay Thompson, we still on top right now. And so let's go ahead and go into week 8. We got a Thursday night game get ready to take place in about 40, 50 minutes. And so who you taking tonight? Vikings, they are in LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers, they needed to put away them piss uniforms they had on last Sunday. Did not look good. You can't be losing in your specialty uniforms and whatnot. And so,
They
who you
said,
taking tonight?
they said they said last week it was the Colts playing the Savannah Bananas.
The right. I thought they were gonna start dancing on the 50.
Yeah. Chargers Vikings. I'm gonna
Yes.
take. I don't know why I keep taking these Chargers because they started 3-0. That's why I keep taking them.
Right.
Oh bums. I'm gonna take them again. Give me Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers as well. The home team has done surprisingly well on Thursdays. Of course, they always do. As a matter of fact, looking back, I think Seattle and the Niners are the only road teams to win so far on Thursday nights. And so, out of the 8 games, 6 of them have gone to the home team. All right. So let's keep going. Sorry about that, Jay. Sunday, Dolphins, they are down in Atlanta to take on the Falcons.
Give me the Falcons.
Cool. I am taking the Falcons as well. I did say I was taking the Chargers. I just want to restate that because as you'll find out and come on, yo. The
Some
Jets,
bullshit, y'all.
the Jets, they're in Cincinnati to take on the Flaccos, the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Flaccos again. That's a semi-revenge game for Joe.
Right.
Joe got another
He been
team.
there too.
He got another team.
All right. Browns, I'll take in the Bengals as well. The Browns, they are in New England to take on the Patriots.
Give me the Patriots.
All right. I'm taking the Patriots as well. The Giants, this is the return of the Giants-Eagles game. The Giants upset them a couple weeks ago on Thursday night. They're in Philly. Eagles look like they got their offensive mojo back. Giants blew that game in Denver. You had a lead, 19-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you wound up losing by 1, 31-30. So who are you taking in this game?
That made you forget all about the Ravens fucking around and losing the game. Give me the Eagles.
All right, I'm taking the Eagles as well. Bills, Panthers. Bills, they had a little rough going, lost 2 straight going into the bye. They're coming out of the bye, going to play a hot Panthers team.
Yeah, they're not going to lose in the bye. Plus, I think Bryce Young is out this game. It's Andy Dalton, so I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay. Niners, they head to Houston.
Who you got?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm taking the Bills as well. Niners, they head to Houston to take on the Texans.
Niners are starting to get that mojo back. Houston has a good defense, but CJ Stroud is not the player we thought he would be in his 3rd season. Give me the 49ers.
Okay. I'll take the Niners as well. The Bucks, they head down to New Orleans to take on the Saints, get some po' boys and some beignets.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield needs to bounce back after the loss last week, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Tampa Bay Bucks.
I will take the
New
Bucks.
Orleans Saints.
I'm taking the Bucks as well. The Cowboys, they head up to Denver, Mile High, to take on the Broncos.
He got CD Lamb back. I keep trying to tell you, Dak is looking good.
Yeah, he did look real good last week.
Denver's on the high right now. It's Mile High. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys.
All right. This will be our upset special. I'm going to take the Broncos.
Is that an upset? Who's favorite?
That's not upset. I'm sure that if there's at home, I'm sure it's the Broncos, probably by 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Titans, they take on the Colts in Indianapolis.
Give me the Colts. This might get ugly.
Right. I'm taking the Colts as well. Let's see. Packers and Steelers. That's the Sunday night game, return game for Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, actually, it's not a return game because the game is in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it is. Well, maybe a revenge game.
Yeah, revenge game. Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love's going to take the pebbles from his hand and become the master. Give me the Packers.
What was the name of that TV show?
Kung Fu. That's a Kung Fu reference.
That's right. David Carradine. All right, man. We already said the Ravens is a must win on Sunday.
Who you got, Packers or Steelers?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm taking Packers as well. We said it was a must win for the Ravens, and so we both taking the Ravens.
Yeah, and after losing the bye week also, I got the Ravens bouncing back. I want to win this.
And the Monday night game, thank God they're only playing one. I don't know who came up with this idea for 2 Monday night games.
Because I didn't stay up for no 10 o'clock game. I ain't even watched the kickoff.
Right. I flicked by it. I saw that these Seahawks were up 7-0, and I was like, okay, that's good enough. And I turned it off. The Commanders, they head out to KC to play the Chiefs. Your boy Jaden Daniels, he's out again with the
Yeah.
hamstring. Marcus Mariota is starting.
I would have taken the Chiefs anyway,
Mhm.
whether Jaden Daniels was out or not. So yeah, let me stick with that. I'm taking Kansas City.
All right, and I'm taking the Chefs as well. So that really leaves us only one game in which we are trying to figure out. So we're not going to see too much movement
See,
this week.
see y'all, see that bullshit. He knew I was coming back, so he gonna pick. That's why he had me
Come on,
pick first,
y'all.
so he could pick.
Come
He
on,
could pick
y'all.
right to me. I was like, I'm gonna
Y'all
take this team. He
know
was like, I said, I'm gonna take this team. He's like, oh yeah, me too,
who
me too.
y'all know who's in the lead. Don't listen to the people that are behind. All right, we're both taking the Chargers over the Vikings, Falcons over Dolphins, Bengals over Jets. These games, and it's not too much that you can pick that are upsets in this.
Yeah,
Patriots over Browns, Eagles over Giants, Bills over Panthers, Niners over Texans, Bucks over Saints. We split on Cowboys, Broncos. Calvin's taking the Cowboys. I'm taking the Broncos. We both are taking Colts over Titans, Packers over Steelers, of course, the home team over the Bears, and the Chiefs over the Commanders.
now
And
watch
on
all of them
bye,
lose. Watch all of
all
them
of them
lose.
lose. And on bye this week are the Lions, Cardinals, Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, and Jaguars. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, those are your Pigskin Pick'ems. Now we're at a point in time that everybody loves. Come on, yo. I'm gonna let you go first, Calvin. You go ahead and go first because I got a lot of little pontification to do. As a matter of fact, I got two come on. I've been having a multiple come on yos lately, so I got two come on yos. But you go ahead, sir.
One of his is some bullshit, y'all. I'm just telling you. Hey man, my headphones came out. Hold on, let me hook back up over here. All right, here we go. My cord came out. I couldn't hear. Anyway, um, so Garland alluded to it, and last night, me and the missus were invited as PSL owners. We were invited to a 30th anniversary celebration happy hour for the Baltimore Ravens.
Big
And
stuff.
they let us in the little legend suite, the new shit they got going on now, the new shit they got downstairs, and they got the chairs that's right at the edge of the goal line, a couple feet from the goal line. And
Big
I mean,
stuff.
the shit they got bars all over the place and all kinds of food, gooey macaroni and cheese balls and crab
Mm,
balls, and build your own tacos and pit beef and
mm,
turkey. I mean, they had it all. I mean, the desserts was good. They even had Halloween candy. You could get the little
mm.
lemon heads, and they had little chocolates and that. I mean,
Wow.
Dwayne Starks was there. Terrence West
Oh
was there.
snap!
They were both signing
He's the legend of the
autographs.
game on Sunday, Dwayne Starks.
Yeah, yeah, I sent you the picture of us taking picture with him.
I saw.
I ain't taking a picture with Terrence West. I don't think he even deserved. But anyway,
Northwestern,
let
as a
me
matter of fact, Northwestern's finest,
I should
Terrence
and I was
West.
about to say I should
Thank
not
you.
have said anything, but I think Ray Rice was supposed to be there. Maybe he couldn't show up. But anyway, they
Hmm.
treat you all nice down in there. They walking by, you need anything, and just like, no, I'm good. Let me come on, Ravens. Earlier this year, you called me about this and you asked me if I wanted to be one of the first people to take advantage of the new luxury suites. And when I asked you how much they were, and you told me, not only did I clutch my pearls, I clutched my wife's pearls and anybody else's pearls that was near. Because my next question was, so will my seats move down there? And what you said to me was, well, not in this section. In this section, you'll just have the TVs and the bars and the food, but then you'll have to go back up to your own seats. But if you want seats in this new section where you can sit on the field right behind the goal line,
Hmm.
and then you still have the bars, and then they got suites, little suites in there, suites inside the suites that are glass doors, so you can have your little meetings and everything. Now you
Wow.
know the chairs on the field,
Yeah.
they have little TVs underneath those little tables where you hook your phone up to it and you can change the channel. So not only Can you watch the game on
Wow.
the field? But you can watch the games. You can watch regular TV or cable TV. Come,
Wow.
come on, Ravens. Okay, so you were
Mhm.
talking about how they try to timeshare you, and it's not
Yeah, try
quite
to
a
get you to
timeshare,
upgrade.
but it's an upgrade.
The
So
upgrade
I don't
meeting.
know. I don't
That's
know
what
if
you
you
had.
watch. I don't know
Upgrade
if
meeting.
you watch Modern Family or anything. You ever watch
I'm not a
Modern
Modern
Family?
Family watcher, no.
Well, there was an episode with Jay. Jay was the father, played by the formerly known as Al Bundy,
Yes.
and he was rich. He had his own company. He was rich, and he liked to go to the hotel, and he wanted to. He said he had heard about the premier suite at the hotel, the exclusivity, and they gave him the premier suite. They gave him the little robe, but then he went out and saw a guy that had a different color robe and got into a different floor. He said, "Well, what's that?" The concierge said, "Oh, that's the best floor that we have." He said, "I thought I was on the best floor." He said, "No, you're on the premier floor.
Right.
This is premier plus floor." So he said, "I need you to get me on premier plus floor." So he got on premier plus floor,
Yeah.
but then he seen the guy
But another
with some
color room.
fuzzy slippers, a different color robe going to another floor. He said, "Well, wait a minute. What is that? I thought I had the top." He said, "Well, no, sir. You had the Premier Plus floor. That's the Super Premier Plus floor." And he said, "Well, I need that." And the last scene of it was he thought he had everything till he went out on his balcony and looked up,
Uh-huh.
and there was yet another floor. That's what the Ravens are doing to you, yo. Come on, Ravens. I'm
Bro.
thinking my club level is the top, and they're like, "Not so fast, Mr. Coates."
Does Holiday Inn Club Vacations own the Ravens in the Ravens Stadium? Because this
Listen,
is the same thing I deal with when I go on vacation
listen.
and I have to go to the upgrade meeting.
I don't know who owns them, but I thought I was doing something in the club level, but now this is the Legends
Yeah.
Club level, or it's called the another sponsor club level.
Yeah,
They got a different one. So
bro.
no, now I feel like I'm back in the ghetto. I'm
Mhm.
back in the ghetto. It don't even smell the same
Right.
down in the
When you go back to your little old seat, you thought you was Calvin. I just experienced the same thing going to Cancun over the summer. We went to the little upgrade meeting. Oh, we thought, oh, this is beautiful. Where we at? And then they took us to the new suites.
You like, well, wait a
Wait,
minute.
wait, hold on. They got why they got this
Yeah.
bit? Oh, they got new appliances and marble tops in here and a walkout patio with the pool, your own personal pool, and oh, but they don't have
Yeah.
that in my suite. Yeah, see, you got the regular owner suite, but this is the preferred owner suite.
They had a Black Mirror, one of the new season, last season of the Black Mirror that just
Yes,
came out earlier this year. They had an episode like that. If you
yes,
haven't watched it, make sure you go
yeah.
watch it.
Black Mirror is great.
But I will say, when the Ravens first called me and asked me about it, I told the guy there was no need in me going to see it because I'm not going to pay the money for it.
Right.
Because for the one that you keep your own seats, you're really just paying for the food and the drink, and we don't drink and eat that much to justify the amount of money they wanted. And the other one is just so highly expensive to sit out on the floor. But I will give him credit where when I said that to him, I was like, "Yeah, we wouldn't do it." He said, "I'll be honest, people want exclusivity. They want to feel like they're getting
Yeah,
something that no one else can get." And he was being very honest with me,
right.
and I appreciated him for that.
Of
But come
course.
on, Ravens.
They do that at the upgrade meeting too. Look, yeah, look, I gotta sell this package. I understand you can't afford it. Just sit here for another 30 minutes to make my manager think you're really interested.
Yeah, so
Because Calvin, we tell them no, and then did they go get another manager after you told them no?
no. So he was the only one that called me.
Okay.
And yesterday they weren't even selling, but they let you
Oh,
see it. And
okay.
then the whole time you walking around, they got the jerseys, the rings, they got the
Right.
trophy, and you like,
Okay.
wow, this is how the other half lives.
Because at
They
the
had a DJ in it. The DJ
uh-huh.
was rocking. Like it just, yeah, it just
Yeah.
it looks, yeah,
Because
it
at the
just
upgrade meeting, when you say no the first time, then they go get the manager, and the manager comes back. And then when you say no that time, they go get the manager above them to come back one more time before they give you that certificate you're supposed to get. All right, man. Let me get on to this. Come on, yo. My first come on, yo. Club level Cal can't remember his bets and
just
scores.
that bullshit, yo.
All right, come on, club level Cal. Get your calculation. Now, everybody, if you've listened to this show, you've watched the show, you know that I keep the records in terms of the Pigskin Pick'em. And just about every week, every other week, I have to go through a calculation argument with Calvin, especially if he has a good week about the score. Now, this past week, he texted me. I'm gonna pull up actual text, and so I don't want y'all to think I'm misquoting. I don't want him to say I misquoted him or anything like that. All right, and so I get this text from Calvin. He says to me, "This is on Monday. When you want to record? Because remember that 4-game lead you had? Here I go." He got two big, flexing on me, right? Two flex emojis. So I laugh. I said, "You won the week 4-2." Actually, I undercalculated.
In
I
front
said
of
4-2.
everybody, yo.
I
In front
still
of
have,
everybody.
yes, in front of everybody. I still have a lead, my friend. I have a 2-game lead. I ain't sweating, son. But then I went back and did the calculation. No, sir. This is Calvin. No, sir. You have a 1-game lead. You won Thursday and Sunday morning, which gave you 6. Then I peeled off 5. He said he peeled off 5, y'all. Niners, Browns, Cowboys, Eagles, Colts. I said, no, you picked Niners, Browns, Cowboys, Eagles. I had to go to the sheet. I picked Bengals, Rams, Colts. So actually, I'm up 3. I picked the Chargers. This is Calvin. I said, yes, you picked the Chargers. Let me go back and check, cuz. So why did I have to go back and pull up the clip, y'all? I went back and
First of
made a
all,
screen recording of last week's broadcast because he don't believe it until he hears
first
it.
of all,
Now I'm gonna tell y'all this. He's done this to me. I said something like a year ago, and he went back and researched and pulled up an old clip of one of the podcasts and played it.
first of
So
all,
I only thought it was justice that I go back and I do the same thing. I went back. Hold on. He said it right. Hold on. I got to make sure I hit record right here. Hit record.
first of all, let me just say this. You ain't got.
Playoffs started today.
You ain't got to do that.
LA that faced the Chargers. This to be their second time playing in LA because they
You ain't got to do that.
earlier this season, but they lost that. Yeah, man, the Colts are like you said. If it ended today, the playoffs started today, they'd be number 1. But the playoffs don't start today. I'm taking the Chargers. All right.
Listen, first of all, I need you to go back to that text where it says I took the Chargers. I wasn't saying I took the charge. I was asking, like, I took the Chargers. It ain't a question. Ain't it a question mark there? Look at it.
It's a question mark there.
And I was like,
but I knew your intent. I knew your intent.
I was saying I took the Chargers because I couldn't believe I took the Chargers over the Colts.
I know Calvin intent.
And then I was gonna go back and check. But yo, you know what? You ain't even gotta do all that, yo. I mean, you know what? I don't want to play this little funky game anymore. Anyway,
ready to quit. That's a shame. So yeah, that's my come on, yo. That's my first come on, yo. Club level need to make sure he got the accurate count. All right. So let me go to my second one. And this has been getting on my nerves lately. And it's about people, particularly people who are at HBCUs. And they say, hey, can we go back to the way things used to be? Now, 3 years ago, we witnessed a surge in historically black colleges and universities attempting to boost their athletic programs by hiring big name coaches, namely former professional black athletes that had little to no connection to the institutions and or HBCU culture. Some had mixed success. Dion, I'm using his proper name, at Jackson State. Eddie George at Tennessee State. They've both gone to PWIs now as a result. And Deshaun Jackson's doing a great job at Delaware State University, my youngest daughter's alma mater. While others failed miserably. Ed Reed at Bethune-Cookman, he never even got started. And Hugh Jackson at Grambling, he eventually got fired after 2 years. Many HBCU alums and administrators were excited to be on a bigger stage, which meant more exposure and growth. Now, I warned these two same groups back in 2022 when all of this started happening. I said, be careful what you wish for. And I questioned whether they were ready to compete on a larger scale with the PWIs that have, in some cases, a 30 to 50 year start in building their programs and facilities. Now, the Coastal Athletic Association, or the CAA, is experiencing a major realignment. And this is happening with my university, my alma mater, Hampton University. As a matter of fact, this weekend is homecoming. And so they moved from the MEAC to the CAA in 2022. Now, the CAA, they're going through some realignment. Villanova is set to become the fifth football program to leave the league in 2026. And the wave of exits has caused some serious doubts on the conference football future and has significant implications, not only for Hampton, but there's another HBCU that's in the CAA as well, North Carolina A&T. They left the MEAC as well. Now, these two institutions, they left the MEAC with the hopes of gaining greater exposure, stronger competition, and academic synergy through CAA membership. However, with the departure of these key programs like James Madison, Delaware, and Richmond, there's weakened the CAA's athletic profile. And currently, it's just a lot of problems. Culturally, the transition has been tough too because the CAA lacks the deeply rooted HBCU traditions that define, the black college football, vibrant homecomings, and community-focused game day experiences. Hampton, they've had a drop in attendance, while North Carolina A&T, they do draw large crowds at HBCU-centric events, but it's a cultural mismatch in a lot of senses. And so on the field, both programs have had mixed success. North Carolina A&T, a former MEAC powerhouse, they've struggled in football, but they remain competitive in track. In Hampton, they've seen flashes of success without regaining any past dominance. They had some dominance in the MEAC as well. And so now they're facing some serious choices, some critical choices. Do they remain in the CAA? Or do they return to their HBCU roots? And so I'm in this chat line. Actually, I followed this page on Facebook. It's called Hampton Sports Talk. It's moderated by Hampton alum. And so a lot of times we're talking about black sports, particularly HBCU sports. And so every time Hampton gets blown out by one of these PWIs, everybody wants to get online. Oh, we need to go back to the MEAC. Oh, we need to go back to the MEAC. I don't understand why we're in the CAA. Well, we wanted the exposure. Everybody want to be black until everybody want to be black. Everybody want to be black, then don't nobody want to be black. We wanted the big stage. Now we're on the big stage. And now we don't want to be on the big stage because we're getting beat up. We have to understand this is going to take some time. We've got to recruit. We got to build programs. We got to get our facilities up. We got to be better. And that only comes over time. We've only been in the CAA 3 years. Everybody wants to quit and go back to the MEAC. And so we can beat up on these small teams that we've been beating up on for years. That's not how it works. If you're working out and you're trying to get better, and your weights, you eventually you're lifting heavier weights to go up. You don't go all the way back to the 5-pound dumbbell when you should be at 75. You lift at your strength. And so this is a process of us competing with the PWIs, not only academically to get the good students, but we got to do it athletically as well. And so we got to be patient. So stop whining, alum. We're not going back to the MEAC. If we go back to the MEAC, then we're suckers. If we go back to a conference that we deemed was below us because we felt we could go to the next level, what does that say about the institution? So the institution is never going to go back unless they get put out. So just suck it up. Homecoming, we don't go to the game anyway. I'm sorry, I'm going long. We don't care about sports anyway. When I say we, HBCU alums, all we care about homecoming and the band. I've been to several homecomings. I can't tell you who they played. I can't tell you the final score of those games. But the band was great. The tailgate was outstanding. Okay. We don't care about the games. I turn on the games on ESPN. Sometimes I come across a game. It don't even look like people are paying attention to the game. People making plays. No one's cheering the action on the field, but they're cheering the band in the stands. And so we got a ways to go, HBCUs, in terms of this sports and transitioning into this mainstream. And this is part of it. We're going to get our butts kicked for a couple years before we get to the top. So stop whining, alum, and just get used to it.
And let's be honest. The CAA ain't the SEC.
Right.
It ain't the ACC.
Right. You think we was in like the Big 12 or something, the Big 10?
Yeah, it's none of that.
It's not that. And we just gotta work.
And you know, we understand. You have to understand that the masses don't necessarily keep up with the sports. They just want the glory and the fame. When you move up conferences, you're moving up conferences for the number one reason of money and revenue sharing. The bigger conferences are going to bring you bigger money.
Exactly.
Not only are you looking at, like you said, you got to recruit, you got to do this. What you're hoping is that you can attract maybe one student that wouldn't go play in a MEAC conference because he's not going to get that exposure to an NFL team or an NBA team. But if you move up to the CAA, maybe he's going to get a little more exposure and he's going to want to come there, which you may get to attract a big name coach there. So you're not just recruiting in the traditional way. You're also trying to attract people to come to your program, as well as getting the revenue sharing, as well as getting more people in the stands. And then you start winning championship. You can get lucky and jump up to a conference and start upsetting some teams, and then you get those eyes on you, and that makes it even better. But you'll never achieve that if you're just down there still beating up on the same people. You can also liken it to like Little League. You know, you got your Little League, what they call the in-house. Your in-house teams are playing each other. But the better players get on the travel team so they can go out and play other travel teams and get the exposure so they can possibly go to better travel teams or go to colleges and things like that. So
my thing is, how many more years you need to beat up on Virginia Union and Virginia State and Norfolk State? We've done that. You need to do that some more. No,
you don't get any respect. You don't get any respect.
We've done that. We've dominated that. Now it's time to get to the next level. Become the best clearinghouse for those mid-level players who want to transfer out to the big programs. Let's become a specialty in that, and just become a transfer warehouse with people coming in. They're getting up their stats for that year, and then they're going to the big programs because that's what's happening anyway. These smaller schools are becoming feeder schools for the bigger programs. Okay, embrace that and take that philosophy into recruiting and playing, and we'll get better. But yeah, going back to beat Norfolk State doesn't mean anything anymore.
I'm impressed. Y'all don't understand, because this same conversation we're having about the teams and the players, Garland fought that with Dion badly because we kept saying, no, listen,
I did not.
Out.
Hear me out. About Dion, and it's funny, I was listening to that podcast earlier today. I said something totally different about Dion.
This is what I gathered you said about Dion. Well, he's just using us as a stepping stone to go to Colorado, and we were like, yes, he is. He absolutely is.
Dion said that God sent him to Jackson State to raise the tide for all HBCUs. But that was not his intention. His intention was always to go to the PWI. That's what I said about Dion.
Exactly.
Now you taking me back. You taking me back. I'm about to call him subprime.
Exactly. That's exactly what he did. Now, he ain't had to lie. He went back up on the mountain and he had 10 commandments.
Bro. Yeah, so no, that's not what I'm saying about the players. I'm saying Dion specifically went to Jackson State saying God sent him to Jackson State.
That was his mistake because we all knew he went there to get a better
He ain't know what
job.
to say to black people because he ain't been around them in so long. He's like, I went back to Jackson State because God sent me back to Jackson State to help the black colleges.
Anyway, man, another good podcast.
Right.
Another good podcast out here. We thank you for joining us. We're live on YouTube right now.
Preaching.
We're on all the podcast
I'm about to do
platforms.
a Marvin Winans and say you ain't give enough money. Anyway.
And if you have Spotify, you can see Garland tell the lady, I asked for $2,000. I did not ask you for $1,250.
This is $1,250. I said 2,000.
You know she got on and explained that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she got on and explained it. So I guess it makes sense. He
made it sound like she was short to her dealer. Look, I gave you a G-Pack and you didn't brought back 900.
I'm more impressed that she coming up there with $1,250 because when they pass my plates around, I'm digging for change and I'm dropping a 5 and they're looking for my 4 ones. Looking for my. Hold on. Let me get that. Here's 5. Let me get them 4 ones out of there before you pass that on. Hey man, another great podcast. Yes. Thank you for joining us. Please make sure you tell your friends. Let me make sure I hit the right outro music.
Yeah. You have been listening to the B.I.G. Show.
Just a talking.
The show was produced and written by Calvin Coates and Garland Thomas for All Things Black Productions.
Make sure
follow us on all of your podcast.
Next year is going to be the Hall of Fame Legacy Suites.
I like to bring a free cup in, so I know they ain't gonna let me in the Legacy Suite.
You don't need a free cup because they give you everything you want, anything you want.
So I ain't gotta sneak my cup in.
You ain't gotta sneak nothing in there. Everything is free. Everything is free.
I don't trust
everything.